that sold me something on eBay that said, hey, it was a handwritten note from a 12-year-old, that said, thank you very much for your purchase. We appreciate it. And it reminded me of when I was 10 years old, except I didn't have eBay and didn't have all these options to buy singles online. So it was refreshing. So it just shows you kind of all generations.
The hobby's exploding and the happiness is absurd. Dustin, get in here. Let's tell, Dustin, Dustin, how much happiness has getting into collecting Pokemon and flipping Pokemon been for you?
Hey, sports card collectors and investors, how is everybody doing? We made it to Friday. I don't know if you saw, but we got a new friend in the house. Jerry is done. So my mother-in-law, for those of you that are new to the channel, my mother-in-law did this Luca painting. It's hand-painted. And then she did this 86 Topps recreation Jerry Rice rookie card. She just finished it up. Super pumped about it. I think it looks great. Like I said, she does do this by hand. It's a huge stress relief for her, especially during these kind of weird times. So she is an essential worker. Her job has been impacted by COVID. And so I will say this, if you are interested in something like this, I don't really sell anything on this channel. I don't have a membership program or anything like that. But I do want to promote her work. I will take 0% of the proceeds. She will get 100% of the proceeds. And I want to promote it because it's something that, like I said, her job has been impacted by COVID. It's a talent of hers that is a stress relief as well. And so if you're looking for something like this for the man cave or anything, let us know. She can do custom pieces. So she can recreate this, or if you have a certain card in mind that you'd be interested in having one of these, please reach out to me. My email is below in the description. And I think that she's also open to different sizes as well. So if you're looking for something gigantic or something a little bit smaller, I believe this one is 24 by maybe 48. I think that's about right, maybe 45. I'm not entirely sure. They are a pretty decent size. But anyway, reach out to me below if you are interested, and we'll try to help you out. All right, guys, today I'm going to be talking about cards that are on the move and not necessarily going up. There's also some that are going down. I want to talk through that. I am going to be using the Card Ladder data tool, and I want to just say that, I say this in every video, but for newcomers, I just want to say that Card Ladder is not the be-all, end-all for data tools. There are a variety of options out there, so try them all. Do your own research and pick the one that works best for you. All of them have pros and cons. And I'm sure we'll probably see more data tools coming on the market with the way the sports card market has just been so red hot, especially if it continues that way. I could see that. So like I said, these are cards that are, some are going up, some are going down. I don't own any copies of the cards that I'll be talking about today. So we'll go ahead and dig right into it. The first card I want to talk about, and for me, this is a card of interest. I don't own it, but I'm watching it closely. I did miss the boat on this a few months back, regrettably. It's a 2012 Prizm Kobe Bryant Raw. Now, for me, and a lot of people, a lot of my viewership, we talk about this. 2012 Prizm being the first year of Prizm, I believe this is going to be one of those very important sets 10, 15, 20 years down the road. I don't know if it's going to be on the same level as 86 Fleer, but I think it's going to be up there. I think it's going to be a very important set moving forward. And so I would like to own some of these cards. Full disclosure, I don't own any 2012 Prizm basketball, regrettably. I have been trying to pull the trigger on some, but as you can see here, May 3rd, this Kobe Bryant card was $130. In April, middle of April, it was $56. So we're talking about 90 days ago, this card was 56 bucks. It got up as high, I believe, at about 250 raw, but it's retreated back to about 215. 215 is where we've seen some recent sales. And so I'm paying attention to this card. I'm not buying it at $215, but it is a card that I am paying attention to. Because it's a card that I would like to own, because it's an iconic player. It's the first year of Prizm. I just love that set in particular. I don't even own any of the rookie cards because they just got out. That they're out of my price range right now. I suppose I could probably spring for some raw Prizms, but I'm not good enough yet to look and grade copies by I can't just look at a card and say, oh, that I feel like that would be a 9, or maybe that could be a 10. I'm not there yet. So for me to spend $300 on a raw, $400 or $500 on a raw rookie card of maybe like AD or somebody, or even more, I can't get myself to pull the trigger yet on something like that. So that's my first card, is that 2012 Prizm Kobe Bryant raw. All right, next up, I'm going to go over a hockey card. I don't own any hockey cards as of current status. So I would like to. It's one of those things. It's like soccer. I don't own soccer cards either. I've been looking really heavily. I've been doing research. I'm kind of in that preliminary stage as far as hockey cards and soccer cards. But the one I chose here is a 2005 Upper Deck Alexander Ovechkin Young Guns PSA 10. This card is now selling at $1,950. There's a recent sale. It was as high as $2,050. Now, if we're looking at the end of 2019, this card was selling at $550. So I'm kind of curious for hockey fans and those alike that do collect and invest in these. Do you think this card is now finally priced where it should be and with growth potential, or is this thing a little bit inflated in your mind? And I'm asking because I don't know hockey cards, but I wanted to touch on it. The cards that I picked out here are cards that I feel are just interesting. They're not cards, like I said, they're not cards that I own. They're just cards that are interesting cards that I want to kind of keep tabs on and keep an eye out for, and their historical data, interests me. So hockey fans and hockey card collectors, if you have any feedback on this Ovechkin card, I like the player. I think he's an all-time great player. Obviously, but I would, and Young Guns, from what I've heard about hockey cards, Young Guns is it's kind of the hot set, to have. So anyway, feedback appreciated. If I've got some hockey fans out there that could comment on it, as well as maybe other players that could be under the radar on the hockey side. All right, next up, I've got a 2010 Donruss Paul George base rookie in a BGS 9.5. This one recently went up, and I bring up Paul George. I thought a player that I want to keep tabs on. He has looked fantastic in the bubble. I mean, I watched the Mavs Clippers game last night. I was so hyped for it, so pumped for that game because I am a Mavs fan. Like I said in recent videos, I'm not going to pretend like I've been a Mavs fan for 20 years. I'm somewhat of a bandwagoner with Luka and Porzingis and Hardaway and Curry and the guys that they've kind of added. I just like this team, and so I am. But last night, Paul George just annihilated them. I mean, Paul George was just hot, and I've seen that over the last, since we've been back to basketball. And maybe this is a guy that's just always been doing it, and I just haven't been paying attention. I've been paying attention to other guys, but there's a lot of attention on Kawhi. But man, Paul George just looking good out there, and we'll see how if he can keep that going. The Clippers, and I was listening to the announcers. I've been hearing this all year, but it's the big talk is that the Clippers are the deepest team in the NBA. And while we're in this kind of COVID environment, and I know, granted, they haven't had any players test positive here lately, with LeBron sitting out with a groin, and with the Lakers being down Avery, I think depth is going to really, really matter once we get to playoff time. So I can't wait to see these matchups in the playoffs, because I know that even if LeBron is shorthanded, even if the Clippers are a deeper team, LeBron just finds a way, and I'm curious. But at the same time, Kawhi also finds a way to win. So that's going to be just an epic clash if they get into the playoffs together. And I can't be more excited about. I'm actually more excited about NBA playoffs than I am about the NFL season, which is weird for me. I'm a diehard New Orleans Saints fan, and I'm pumped for that season too. But I'm kind of just, as I've said in recent videos, I'm just not sure how they're going to pull off I'm not sure how they're going to pull it off with COVID, with these guys not getting it. So anyway, getting off track. Paul George's card. So this card, this BGS 9.5 on his Donruss base, July 29th, it's a $299 card. On the 30th, there was a sale that bumped up to $499, and I'm sure it was probably after a big game. I know Devin Booker hit that game winner over him, which a lot of people are talking about, but Paul Paul George, though, outside of that one play, he's just looked lights out. So I'm curious to just kind of follow his stuff and see where it goes. That's a guy I wish I'd probably put more resources towards a few months back. But I just overlooked Paul George, to be perfectly honest. So that's why I looked at this card, because I thought Paul is one of those guys I want to pay a little closer attention to. All right, next up, we're bringing out a card to show market volatility at its finest, and that is the 2019 Prizm Silver Bull rookie card. I've got buddies of mine that have come to me and said, look, Bull is the real deal. He is legit. And I don't doubt it. I mean, maybe he is. Maybe he is that guy. These are prospects. I mean, we're prospecting. These guys are, all of these NBA rookies, I mean, they're penny stocks, in a sense. You've got the guys at the top that get all the attention, like Zion and Ja, but there's guys like Bull, and there's these guys that pop up that but their stuff is so volatile, and this will show you kind of on July 29th, the PSA 9 of his Silver Prizm rookie was as high as $349.99. Now that was the high. I believe that was maybe one maybe two sales, but from what I've seen, that is the high. It's now selling right in that $136 range, it looks like. So that's one I'm kind of keeping an eye on because it's so volatile. And I do like the player that, it might be something, if that continues to drop, I might take a little harder look at it because once the prices shot up, it wasn't for me. I wasn't going to chase it. So that's one I'm paying attention to. It's interesting. So anyway, Bull made the list. All right, last but not least, I want to talk about a guy that unfortunate injury that just popped up. And of course, this kind of brings to light what we talk about. It's the biggest risk outside of market forces. The biggest risk to sports cards are injuries. We're basically, putting money into players' careers and how they're going to turn out. Ben Simmons is the next guy I'll be talking about. So his 2016 Prizm Silver rookie card currently is selling at $2,972 are recent sales. But just to give you an idea of where that card has been, I mean, if we're looking just right at the end of May 31st, this card was a $900 to $950 card. So it's tripled since basically June 1st, May 31st, June 1st. I mean, that's only, a little over 2 months, and that card has tripled. And Ben Simmons is he's a polarizing figure. Guys can't figure out, is he going to be a superstar in the league? Is he not? There's so many opinions on Simmons. And so I'm interested in just seeing, he did have a knee injury. And I don't know, today I haven't checked the news if they've come up with more information. The last I saw, he was just out indefinitely, but I didn't see a timeline as to whether or not he could get back quickly, get back in a few weeks, and maybe, get in the mix a little bit. But I haven't seen anything, or if he's done for the rest of the year, and then we're just waiting for, next season for Ben. But part of the reason why I bring this up is because I haven't seen if I'm looking at this card in particular, I haven't seen any sort of reaction to that injury yet. I'm seeing prices at $2,972. I'd be interested in kind of seeing where this is in a week, 2 weeks, a month. So I'm going to track it. I like Ben Simmons as a player. I only own one Ben Simmons card, and it's a base hoops rookie card of his. So he's not one that I've really stocked up on, or he just hasn't been on the forefront. I've really been focused on very specific players. And Ben hasn't been one of them. But this is a card I would like to kind of see, especially with it just being, a third of the price 2 months ago. So that's what I got today, guys. Please subscribe if you haven't already. We're just putting out daily videos, hopefully entertaining you a little bit. We've got amazing art now. I remember when I first started the channel, it was, my background was really, really lame, really bad. Actually, it was just white walls, pretty much. So it was like I was kind of in a cave in the basement, which is not that untrue. I am kind of in a cave in a basement, but we're slowly kind of stepping up our game here. So I hope that you're enjoying it and it's entertaining for you. And we will talk to you again soon. Thanks very much, guys. Take care.